All right, boys and girls, today we are going to complete an Esti mystery. This is something new that we're going to do in first grade. And today's is more pieces than you can see. So throughout this whole Esti mystery today, what you're going to do is you're going to try to make some estimations with me. And when you estimate, you're making an educated guess. So we're thinking about it before we guess. So let's see what it's asking us to do. How many pieces of foam are there? So what I like to do is I like to look and see how many, I like to just try to count how many I can see. So I'm going to go ahead and count how many I see, and I want you to count too in your head. And I can only see one side, so I'm guessing there's maybe a couple more on the other side too. So I'm going to think of a number, how many I see on this side, and then maybe I'm going to add a couple more to see if those are on the other side too. What this is going to do is it's going to give us clues for how many pieces of foam there are. We're going to try to see if our estimate changes throughout all of the clues. And then at the very end, we get to see if we were right on our guess. So right now, I want you to go ahead and write down your first estimate. So maybe on a piece of paper, maybe on a dry erase board. Go ahead and jot that down so you know what your very first guess was. After each clue, if it's no longer possible, write down a new estimate and be prepared to explain why you chose that. So I just want you to have that reasoning in your head. All right, clue number 1. And this is really nice. It gives us a number line at the bottom that you can keep track of your estimate. Clue number 1. There are more than 9 pieces. You can't see all of the pieces. So if there are more than 9 pieces, I know that it cannot be 1, it cannot be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 because there are more than 9 pieces. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cross off all these numbers 1 through 9. So that means it can be either 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, or 20. If you guessed a number that was 9 or smaller, 9 or less, go ahead and change your estimate so that it's 10 or more. All right, clue number 2. There are less than 16 pieces. So we know that there are more than 9, so it can't be numbers 1 through 9, but it's less than 16. So that means if you said 16 or higher, so 16, 17, 18, 19, or 20, it is not one of those numbers. So if you need to change your estimate, change it now. So we now know that it could be numbers 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, or 15. Go ahead if you need to change your estimate, change it now before we see clue number 3. And if yours is still the same number, awesome, kiss your brain. And if you had to change it, kiss your brain too, because you're growing right now as a mathematician. Clue number 3. The answer is not 10 or 11. Oh no, mathematicians, my guess was 11, so mine is, I have to make a new one. So if you said 10 or 11, think of a new one. It can now be numbers 12, 13, 14, or 15. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my new estimate. I'm going to write that down. I have my new estimate. I hope you do too. Let's go ahead and let's see the last clue if we can come up with our answer. The answer is not 13 or 14. So that leaves us with 2 choices. It can either be 12, there's either 12 pieces of foam, or there are 15 pieces of foam. If you have to change your answer, I want you to think right now. Do you think there are either 12 pieces of foam in this cup or 15? I'm going to go back and I'm going to rethink. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I see 9, and then I see 10 right there. 10. How many more do I think about? Do I think there's 2 more or 5 more? Are there 12 or 15? Let's go ahead and let's see how many pieces of foam there are. Okay, after seeing the clues, you have narrowed the possibilities to a small set of numbers. We know it's either 12 or 15. Before we see the answer, select your final estimate. Write it down. Now I want you to explain to somebody. It says explain to someone why you chose that number. You can either explain it in your head to a stuffy, maybe somebody next to you at home or at BAC. Say why you're choosing this number, 12 or 15, and then let's go ahead and check. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds to think about that. So my first estimate was 11, and I changed it to 12. I'm changing mine to 12 because I don't think that there's enough space for there to be 15 pieces of foam. And I could count 10, and I think there's only a few more in there. That's why I am choosing 12. Let's see if we are correct. All right, click to see the answer. Are you ready, mathematicians? 12 pieces of foam. If you said 12 pieces of foam, kiss your brain. If you had to change your estimate, go ahead, kiss your brain too. And guess what? If you were wrong and you said 15, double kiss your brain. We are learning so much about number sense right now. I hope you had fun on this Esti mystery.